Hi, this is Miss Fazone, and this is Completing the Square, Algebra 2. This is the last topic on our test. All right, so let's start by talking about what is a perfect square polynomial. A perfect square polynomial is a polynomial that can be written as a binomial squared. All right. For example, I'll write it down here. If you have x squared plus 10x plus 25, when you factor that, what do you get? What multiplies to 25 and combines to 10? 5 and 5. That's x plus 5 times x plus 5, which can be written as x plus 5 quantity squared. Okay? So that's an example of a perfect square binomial. X plus 5, x plus 5, x plus 5 squared. Okay. All right. So now take a few minutes, pause the video, and factor those. Right? If you make an MC chart, these are all perfect square trinomials. Okay. What multiplies to 36 and combines to 12? 6 and 6. X plus 6, x plus 6. How about this one? What multiplies to 49? 7 and 7. Notice the middle term is negative. Minus 7, minus 7. And finally, what multiplies to 4? X minus 2, x minus 2. So these are all examples of perfect square binomials. So I can write this as x plus 6 quantity squared. X minus 7 quantity squared. X minus 2 quantity squared. Now let's look at this. There's a pattern here. What's the relationship between 6 and 36? 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 2 squared is 4. All right, again, 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 2 squared is 4. Now, how about the 6 and the 12? How do you get from 12 to 6? 12 divided by 2 is 6. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this relationship is really, really important. Okay. So thinking about that, let's do this slide. What would the question mark have to be to write this polynomial as a perfect square? So what should this number be? Right? Remember, when we write this as a perfect square trinomial, okay? It's a perfect square trinomial. X plus, what was the relationship between this number and this number? 10 divided by 2 is 5, right? 10 divided by 2 is 5. So what should this number be? 5 squared, 25. Okay. So the process is divide by 2, and then we're going to square it. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 squared is 81. This is x squared plus 18x plus 81. Okay. How about the next one? 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. X squared minus 8x plus 16. Last one, what should this be? 9. X squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay. X minus 3 quantity squared. 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 times 2 is 6, or 6 divided by 2. All right. This one is x minus 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. X plus 9 squared. All right, so this pattern is really, really important. Sorry, it's a little messy. 9 squared is 81. 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, so this is the pattern we're going to be using. Okay, so now we're actually going to complete the square. It's similar to factoring, but not quite the same. All right, so what we want to do is I gave you something that's not a perfect square trinomial. We're going to make a perfect square trinomial out of this. So instead of 1, what do I want this number to be? So remember, we take our middle term 10 and we divide by 2. What do you get? 5. and then we square it. 5 squared is 25. So pretend that 1's not there. I want to write this as x squared plus 10x plus 25 because this is a perfect square trinomial. What do you get when you factor it? X plus 5, x plus 5, right? What multiplies to 25 and adds to 10? 5 and 5. That can be written as x plus 5 quantity squared. But remember, you can't just add 25 into a problem. So we add 25, we're also going to subtract it. We add 25, we also want to subtract it. So I'm going to write minus 25. And then what number did we completely ignore? The 1. We're then going to put plus 1. These two numbers are going to go together, right? The first 3 factor, the second 2 go together. What's negative 25 plus 1? Negative 24. And this is our final answer. I know it looks a little funny, but it's actually incredibly useful to be able to write a trinomial like that. And we're done. Okay. So the steps are divide the middle term, your b term, by 2 and square it. Add and subtract your answer into the polynomial. Factor the perfect square trinomial. The first 3 will be your trinomial, and then the last 2 numbers combine together. All right? Pause the video, copy it. All right, so step 1. Take your middle term, 8, divide by 2. You get 4. Then you square it. 4 squared is 16. I'm going to rewrite my trinomial with the 16. X squared plus 8x plus 16. This factor's really nice. What multiplies to 16 and combines to 8? It should be the same number twice. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. So x plus 4 times x plus 4, which then can be written as x plus 4 quantity squared. Now we add 16 in, so we also have to subtract it. You can't just magically add 16 into the problem. So I minus 16, and then don't lose your 7. I'm going to bring that plus 7 down here. Those last 2